What's going on, YouTube? Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Savage Studios. Before we get into this video, I want to say that, I mean no disrespect, and I don't intend to offend any of the prison wifeys, baby mamas, or anybody who's in a faithful relationship with an inmate or a convict or whoever's in prison right now and they're actually holding them down, money on the books, packaging in his name, visiting every week, maybe a family visit, really holding it down. You're part of the chosen few, you're part of the rare breed, but I got to keep it real, man. That stuff ain't common. That's a rarity. But before we get into all that, let's go ahead and smash this like button, people. Let's go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that bell notification on the side so you'll be notified when your boy drops some more content for you. Okay, so let's just get into it. When I first got popped, I was in two serious relationships, right? Love. We was talking about love. We was talking about marriage. One of them, and look, disclaimer to my beautiful wife now. Sorry, baby girl, ain't no one trying to piss you off talking about these old nobodies, but it's important that I speak on my experience so y'all have an accurate picture of, man, I kind of lived it, I kind of went through it, and I could tell you what's the common thing. Being in there for 10 years, seeing other relationships, whether it was my Sally's girl, whether it was my Sally's homie's girl, whether it was my cousin's girl, whoever I was locked up with, being able to kind of just get the feel for things, and also being in the visiting room and seeing which relationships worked out and some of the most scandalous stuff that goes on in the visiting room. I've seen it all from one guy was getting a visit, right? Engaged to a girl, didn't want to marry her, rekindled some stuff with his ex. She went to visit him. He didn't come out to go see her in the visit. The fiance that wanted to marry him came to visit him. He did not go out. So what she ended up doing was coming back and pulling his celly out, right? Because I guess the celly was boys and, whatever. So the celly ended up getting with the fiance. He got back with his ex. Nobody was hurt. Feelings were hurt at the beginning. But that's kind of how it goes in prison, These relationships, I don't want to attack them all and say they're not real or authentic. But let's just keep it real now. If you go into prison, if you go into jail, if you're doing a bid, if you're doing some time, man, you got to be willing to understand the fact that your girl has needs. Your girl needs to be touched, held, hugged, cuddled, kissed, and yes, made love to. If you can't wrap your mind around that, you're going to be like how I used to be. When I went in, I had a girl before I got locked up, and when I got locked up, she wanted to do all this marriage stuff and engagement stuff, and that relationship died out quick. She couldn't take the time. The years that they were throwing at me was just way too much. She was like, doses, right? She shook. So it was cool, She went through like this little, oh, I love you, I'm going to be here for you, I'm going to ride or die. But when the gavel hit the wood and I got, when that little hammer hit the gavel and I got my sentence, she was gone. So I went on to do my time. Ended up in another serious relationship, though. This one was for about 8 years. And when I say serious, I don't mean serious because I actually was putting my all into it. Because I'm going to keep it real. You guys can hate me. You guys can talk as much as shit as you want. But 99% of relationships that take place or that are formed while you are incarcerated are strategic, thought out. You need something, you want something, she got what you need. So if she's pretty or not, if she's skinny or not, if she's heavy set, short, just short of blind, buck-toothed, and overweight, I mean, I didn't seen it all. So for me, it was like, I kind of just was trying to get mine. I was going to break her off money here and there, and I get mine, so I get money. I was all hustle. So we did this for about 8 years of my term. The whole marriage concept kind of came into play, but at the end of the day, I heard it all, and I didn't know how to accept the fact that, I was being lied to, like, being sold wolf tickets. Like, baby, I'm gonna hold you down. I'm faithful. I love you. No other man's got nothing on you out here. Yada 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 yada. But when it came down, when push came down to shove, she was out partying. She was out getting laid. She was out getting sprayed. She was out getting torn apart, ran through. And I mean, I was still getting money on the books. I was still getting packages. I was still getting visits almost every weekend. No matter what prison I was in, whether I was in Corcoran Shoe, whether I was in Tehachapi, Old Folsom, because this is what you need to understand for you being incarcerated, or if you're facing jail time, or if you know anybody facing jail time. It is impossible to be in society free around so much temptation, not being touched, not being kissed, not being made love to. So, for the rarities, right? For the rare ones who get family visits, who are happy with what they get, and they're very rare. I salute you. I salute you, women. But I'm here to just keep it real with you. Most of you prison wives ain't even down like that. Like when push comes to shove, don't sit there on your high horse and act like, oh, I'm so faithful to my man, or oh, I'm so loyal to my man. Bro, if you go into jail, this is for you. If you go into prison, the best thing you can do is leave your woman. If you love your woman, leave your woman. I tell my beautiful, beautiful baby girl this every time. God forbid. But if I go back for whatever reason, we're done. That's it. I don't want to talk about writing letters. I don't want to talk about working it out. The only one way that we'll stay together, one way. And even then, it's like, who you kidding? But the only one way that I would feel somewhat like, okay, I think I can hold this down is if we get the family visits, right? That's the conjugal visit. That means we get to make love. That means you get to come spend the weekend with me. We get to, yeah. You know what I mean? I get to remind her, I get to remind her what she's missing out on. Even then, you get those once a month, if you're lucky. Shit happens in prison. You get in trouble, you lose those for like 90 days, maybe sometimes 6 months. I don't know how it exactly works. But at the end of the day, if you really love your woman, you can't subject her to that. You cannot subject your queen, your princess, whatever you call your woman, you cannot subject her to doing time with you. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get mad at her, you're going to start bitching at her, and then you're going to start blaming her. And you're going to start trying to expect shit from her. And you're going to terrorize her. She's going to be doing time with you. So if you have a woman facing jail time, if you got family facing jail time, you got homies facing jail time, you need to look them dead in their eyes and tell them, bro, you need to cut that off when you get locked up. If she wants to look, bro, if she really loves you, she going to put money on the books. She going to come visit you. She going to send you package. If she really loves you, she going to do that shit regardless. I'm not asking you to dog her out. I'm not telling you to straight act like she don't exist. I'm telling you to cut that off mentally, emotionally. Subtract that shit from the equation, because what happens is when you go in, you expect her to come with you. You expect her to do time with you. You expect her to send you shit, put money. And then you get mad when you calling her on a Friday and it sounds like she doing her makeup and shit. And it's like, where are you going? And then they run nighttime day room and you get a call and she wasn't expecting your call. So you call her and she don't answer, bro. So now you tripping. Now you going back to the cell and you writing her a letter talking about F you dirty this, you dirty that. I knew I couldn't trust you. I hate you. Just leave me alone. Boop, da, boop, da, boop, da, boop. The week starts up. You bored. You lonely. You ain't got nothing. You call. Hey, where was you at, man? How come you doing me like that? Tell me where you was at. And you settle. You settle for that explanation. And what it does is it drives a wedge into whatever you did have. So if you're facing 3 to 5 years, she could hold it down. Trust and believe she could hold it down. Will she cheat on you? Physically, yeah, she might physically go and get something one day. She might go to a bar with friends if you guys are arguing. Because out of 5 years, I don't give a fuck who you are. After 5 years, you're going to argue, you're going to fight in a relationship. She's got the power to go down to a liquor store. She got the power to go to a club with her friends. She going to most likely get into something within 5 years. But 5 years is a realistic, you're stretching it, but it's realistic for her to wait it out for 5 years. Anything over 5 years, bruh, keep it on pen pal, keep it on phone call, but don't have those expectations. Just break up with her. And if you want to like get a woman that you want to, to visit you and you want to try to hustle or whatever your case may be for strategy, go on them pen pal sites. They got plenty of women who is on the pen pal sites that want to be used in that fashion, who want to be a part of that lifestyle. You see them everywhere. They like prison flies. They love a hard body. They love a motherfucker with tattoos. They love that shit. You know what I mean? A real motherfucker, right? They love that shit. So, I mean, it all just kind of just depends. It all falls back onto what you want and what you're willing to accept and how much you really actually love your woman. Because, once again, this ain't to smut up the prison wives. What it is This is a shout out to the real prison wives. Better yet, this is even a shout out to the ones who is straight hoes. To you prison wives that just straight giving it up, getting tossed up, but you still putting money on the books, money on the phone, visits, packages. For y'all doing that shit, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, if you a real G, if you really with that shit, then you need to transform your mind and understand and accept that that's what's going to happen. You know, screw my ex, right? Like, I'm not trying to narrow in on her, but I'm going to just say one thing about her. When we first started our shindig, 8 years we was together. When we first started that, I said this, look, don't go getting pregnant and don't get married. I don't give a shit what you do. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care who you party with. I don't care. If it's not messing with my money, I don't care, dude. And if it makes you happier when I call you and you sound happy and we not arguing, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. That's it. The reason why I told her not to get pregnant was because it's like, damn, like, you know, my family, my homies out here, they all know we together. You gonna make me look really stupid? Nah. Like, scratch that itch, right? Scratch that itch. But come on, let's just run regular program. So this is a shout out to the prison wifeys, right? Because at the end of the day, y'all holding it down, y'all staying solid, y'all doing what you gotta do. But 95% of y'all are doing that, but you ain't fooling us. Like a real one knows what you up to, right? Now, hey, regardless if you that one who just don't like being touched, don't like that sex, or it just don't matter that much to where you can wait 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, you know what? Message me. Drop a comment in my shit. Hit me up on Instagram at Savage the Artist, Savage with a 3. I'll pull you on the channel. I'll pull you on the show. We could talk about it. We could talk about it because out of 10 years, I done seen a whole lot of relationships. I done been in that visiting room all them 10 years. I know the dynamic of the inside of a visiting room. I was one of the motherfuckers that lived in the visiting room. So I know about the regulars. I know how all you girls know each other. I know about it all. So we could talk about it. Like I said, I give everybody a fair chance. If I say something on you and you want to speak back, come on. I'm inviting you to the channel. We could talk about it. But once again, I'm sorry if I offended you. I apologize if you feel like I'm attacking you. But at the end of the day, I feel like there's a big majority of prison wives that do need to be exposed because you run around on your high horse acting like my man is this, my man is that. Y'all ain't shit. You guys out here ain't shit. My man is everything. Okay. Bullshit. Because you be sliding in other guys' DMs. They be sliding in your DMs. And you ain't telling your man about that part. Although you got a profile pic with you and your man. And it's all love. And you know, they got the little emoji with the lock and the heart. And we've been together. And you put the date right there. Open up them DMs. Take a screenshot. Print that shit out and send it to your man in prison. And then let's talk. Just saying. Quick one. Short one. Thought y'all have fun with this one. Till the next time, Savages, stay up, stay dangerous, stay safe, and stay aware. Doses.